Good day to everyone. Our recommendation report is about the lack of manpower in the workplace. So, hello, I'm Nicole, Dominique, Ranara, and I'm here to report about the table of contents, introduction, methods, recommendation, and appendix 2.
Hi, I am Reimi Guerzon, and I'm here to present our results, the last part of the recommendation, and Appendix 1 and 3.
So, our report consists of the executive summary, introduction, methods, results, recommendations, and the list of appendices for interview questions, interview documentation, and the profile of the interviewee. The flexibility of an organization is equal to the performance, which means that the flexibility involves the productivity that depends on the manpower, and this will determine the organization's performance. Regional Trial Court Branch 109 currently experiences a lack in manpower, which puts their branch in a drawback because of the loads of cases. An interview was conducted to answer all questions regarding the lack of manpower in the workplace, and the results were interpreted to propose for a better solution, which leads us to propose 5 solutions which will be discussed further later. So, Regional Trial Court Branch 109 experiences a lack in manpower. Manpower is defined as a population which has an actual or potential capability to contribute directly to the production of the goods and services. To further explain, every organization has its objectives, and it needs sufficient personnel to improve their management. Organizational performance depends much on its personnel to achieve its objectives. The lack of manpower affects the production of quality goods and services, which can sometimes lead to a decrease in the revenue and profit. Insufficient personnel means that the organization lacks some human resources, thus the organization is not effectively or efficiently performing at their best. The lack of manpower in an organization brings about an increase of workload and less supervision. So to support our report, we searched for an interviewee. Then an interview was conducted to answer all queries regarding the said problem. After collecting his statements, we interpreted the findings and developed a plan. For a better report, we used academic databases and news articles to support our findings.
After interviewing Mr. Ascanio, here are our findings. Currently, there are 11 employees working in the Regional Trial Court, Branch 109, including the presiding judge. At present, the two positions of Clerk 3 are vacant. Clerks are in charge of maintaining and safekeeping the case records of criminal and civil cases. The court now has about 2,000 cases, a bulk of which are criminal cases. To deal with the lack of manpower in the workplace, the person in charge was assigned to employees to act as a clerk. So, the assigned employee performs the function of his position as well as the other functions of a clerk. Aside from that, they also directed other employees to do other functions of the clerk, such as issuing subpoenas and notices and mailing orders and other court correspondence. As Mr. Ascanio is the clerk of the court, he can assign an employee other tasks, especially those which require immediate action. One of the factors which determines whether a court performs well is how fast it can dispose a case. But this can be attributed to several factors, like the availability of public prosecutor, timely submission of evidence, and many more. Despite these problems, they are constantly finding ways to address everything. To improve their work and service despite the lack of manpower, they have regular meetings to discuss problems and how to solve them. And based on the meeting, new guidelines are issued. For example, if an employee cannot efficiently perform the task is assigned to someone else just to fill in the shortcomings. And as part of the government workforce, they are compelled to render overtime work to the extent of working on weekends.
To resolve the court's manpower shortage, filling the vacancies for the 2 clerk positions is the most ideal solution. Another solution that can be suggested is that the court must dispose cases. One of the contributing factors why there is a heavy workload in a court is because of the growing court docket, which is a system that has the information for both pending and decided cases, that has been filed in the court. Another solution proposed would be like in the other places, which is the creation of a new court.
Also, the Supreme Court has a program on court decongestion officers or CDOs. CDOs are the traditional manpower deployed in courts with numerous cases. The court may request from Supreme Court that CDOs be assigned to that court. Aside from that, they also directed other employees to do other functions of the clerk, such as issuing subpoenas and notices and mailing orders and other court correspondence. Appendix 1 is assigned for the interview questions. We ask these 5 questions in order to interpret, establish, and present our recommendation report.
So we conducted our interview through Messenger and we shared some screenshots which we will insert in the interview documentation.
Appendix 3 is assigned for the profile of the interviewee. We ask for his updated resume and arrange it according to his personal profile. His education, his training and work experience, his organizational experience, and lastly, his eligibility.